Welcome to the Global Pulse, a short video series where our experts break down a trending topic in international business and why it matters to you.
Namaste. This week on Global Pulse, it's time to talk about some of the strategic moves of Disney in India. And there's a lot going on in terms of the House of Mouse when we get over to India. Now, what's intriguing about the deal is that Disney is now, it looks like, taking a step back, even though they're still going to have a presence in India. So let me try to run down the history. As everyone knows, we think of Mickey Mouse and we think of all the wonderful intellectual property of Disney. And when they were expanding their footprint globally, back in 1993 in August, they decided, well, let's go into India. It's a promising market. And so the way they did this was a common mode of entry is to say, we'll set up a joint venture. And they did it with Modi Enterprises. So they come in and they say, we got this really cool intellectual property and you will be a licensee, we'll be a licensor, we'll set up a 10-year agreement. And things seemed like they were working out fine. And then near the end of the term of the actual contract, as we got around about that 10-year mark, things soured, didn't work out too well. So that dissolved. And Disney wanted to stay in India, so they said, fine, we will now create a subsidiary. So it was the Walt Disney Company India. And by doing so, they would operate under the laws of India, and they would once again use their television and try to build out platforms and do all this good stuff. And they were on a nice crescendo, a very good path, moving from 2004 all the way up to about 2019 when they ended up buying Fox and 21st Century Properties, and that was kind of a cool move. Now, it cost them $71 billion deal with Rupert Murdoch, but it looked like they were on the right path and the right trajectory because they acquired Star India as one of its properties, and things were looking really good because they had something called IPL, which is the Indian Premier League. So when you have cricket, you know what you're doing. So things were humming along and going very well for Disney. Then things got interesting. You had competition, and competition in the form of local competition inside India. The outfit being Reliance Industries. Now, Reliance Industries is headed up by a gentleman by the name of Mukesh Ambani. And his family had very successfully taken what his father was literally a textile shop in 1958. They built it up to a conglomerate where we're talking about, they cover everything. We're talking petrochemicals, we're looking at oil, we're looking at telecommunications. And so in 2022, they were able to obtain the rights for the IPL for $3 billion. And once they got those rights, suddenly Disney saw, uh-oh, trouble. We're losing subscribers. Folks are leaving us because we no longer have cricket. And so as they started really looking at the numbers, I think Disney realized, especially since Bob Iger came back, the Return of the King, he said, look, we're going to have to tighten things up. We're going to have to figure out what makes sense economically. Disney was losing money when it came to their regular television or linear programming. They were losing money when it came to streaming, even though they were trying to reach out and grow the subscriber base. And they were saying, look, if you can't beat them, join them. So they formed a merger, and this merger went down pretty recently. In fact, they concluded the deal back on February 28th, so we're only talking about a couple days ago. And the nature of this deal is such that now what Disney is going to do is that they're saying, look, we are going to set up this deal between ourselves and Reliance. They will have a 63% stake, and we will have a 37% stake. So it's rather intriguing that Disney is stepping back, but they're doing so through a joint venture. And under this arrangement, Reliance Industries is paying $1.4 billion to make this deal go through. But when you look at it from a business standpoint, it totally makes sense because it's really Bob Iger and company saying, you know what, we've done our best. We've been in India for a presence of about 30 years now. And we suddenly realized that, you know what, we don't have that deep understanding of the actual Indian consumer. But guess what? Reliance does. So it makes sense from a business standpoint. Now, I know you might be wondering, well, gee, if it didn't work out for Disney, why didn't they just entirely pull out and call it a day? Well, it's basic marketing. You've got to follow where are the markets and where are they growing. Now, recently in 2023, it was a watershed year in the sense that India became the most populous country in the world. It surpassed China. And when we look at this, we realize there's real opportunity. And it comes down to looking at numbers, and this I find rather intriguing. If we say that China was the most populous nation at one time, what are the number of births on a given day in China? It's just shy of about 50,000 births a day. So we're talking about 49,000 folks are born every day in China. Using the United States as a reference point, in our country right now, we have about 10,000 babies that are born every day in our country. And in case you're curious, in India, it stands at about 67,000 babies are born every day. So you do simple math and you realize that, yes, there is huge opportunity in India, and especially when we're talking about Mumbai as the area where a lot of growth is going on. So it only makes sense that Disney maintains its presence. And so from a business standpoint, you do what you have to do. You stay nimble, you stay agile, you stay quick, and you do what is deemed the right thing. So with all that, there's going to be lots in store, and I think there's tremendous promise in India with its rising middle class. And so we'll see what can happen when businesses think strategically going forward. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there and just hearing my thoughts on this subject matter. And therefore, I'd like to close things out if I can get my Hindi down. And I'd like to say basically, per malinge. Take care now.